All right. Well, hi everyone. So we're just doing some Genshin again, and it's Candace's birthday. So happy birthday, Candace! She's gonna be in our party, of course, today. And I think first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do the event to get the points for the battle pass, and then we'll probably just go, do some other stuff, commissions, using resin, things like that. So thank you guys for being here, and let us skip over to Genshin. Let me see. I have to adjust the sound again. Picking it up for some reason. Oh, now it's really loud on my end. Alright, hang on. Bring that down a little. Oh, turn around and clap. I think what happened is I adjusted sound for other things too, so that's there. I have so much sound to work with too. I want to make sure I can hear myself over the game. Okay, I think that'll be good. Hopefully you guys can hear it all right. I was adjusting the sound the other day for my computer because for some reason my headphones weren't working, and then found out that it's because my headphones has a little knob on it that I didn't see, and it had gotten turned down somehow, and so I was fiddling around with all those sounds and so on. But all right, so let's do this and go from here. All right. So it says character triggers a crystallized reaction of opponent. The all elemental res of opponents is decreased by 30% for 6 seconds. All right. I think I will. Let's see. I think I'll bring Ito. I like to put my DPS at the back here because then it's like, oh, you start off at one, and then okay, bubble, shield, support, and then DPS. Um, I guess we can leave it that way for right now. This one. Ooh. A hydro. Okami. Building. On you, and yeah, I think that'll work. Right, let's see how we do. To be honest, I'm not I don't really care if it hits like super big damage or I get gold. As long as I get the primo gems, I'm fine. I'm pretty happy. So
I will have order.
where are you?
Can't catch me. Who wants some of this? Attaboy!
Your journey ends here. Your journey ends here.
So says you.
Mind the side effect.
Order guide you. Solidify.
Shower me with praise.
Let's roll! Oh, coming through!
Your journey ends here. Your journey ends here.
It's showtime! Bam!
A bitter peltus.
I will have order.
Stabilize.
Strike a pop.
Let's roll! Who wants some of this?
Your journey ends here. Your journey ends here.
Mind the side of it. This is order. Bam! Oh, coming through! Attaboy!
Your journey ends here. Your journey ends here. Lord of Sand.
Adapt you with speed.
I will have order.
Yoo-hoo!
Let's roll! Can't catch me. Who wants some of this?
Rest, revamp. Cold. Mine to command. The night is cold. Blaze over. Attack! That's the way. Ha! Coming at you! Coming at you! Don't be scared. My guiding stars. No touching. For Rex Lapis. Watch out! Attack! That's the way. Hiya! Hiya! Coming at you! Hold the line. Stars, shine for me. All hail. Watch out! Don't be scared. This is long overdue. Rubber send-off from the Spina with love. Watch out! Ha-ha! Hiya! Ha-ha! Coming at ya! Cha! Hiya! Ha-ha! Attack! That's coming at ya! Rest and rebuild! The night is cold. Cha! Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Cha! Watch out!
Woof. Like I said, not the most points, but I mean, we are only on like what, normal damage multiplier, so. And all I really care about is getting the Primo Gems, so it still works. We got our Primo Gems, and we got these little extra bits. Yeah. The thing is, too, is like with these type of ones, it's like if you want to, you can, you know, try to see how much points you can get and everything. But what you get for the reward, it's kind of like you could get this just in the game. You know, it's not that big of a thing, which is nice because then anybody who can't reach this stage isn't missing out on like Primo Gems or crowns or, you know, weapon enhancement material for the event weapon and stuff like that. It doesn't make you feel bad about not being able to reach this stage. I remember the one it was an alchemy event with what's his name? It was... Oh. What's that lady's name? It was the perfume lady from Leeway and Albedo's assistant. They got together for an event, and we were like, oh, here, use these alchemy potions and it will help you do more damage. Well, the event, it was do more damage, and then it was like, oh, you do this, but then, and you have to like go through 4 stages, but every stage gets harder. And if you reset it, then you have to do it all over again. And I tried it so many times. And I had like level 90 characters with level 8 talents, and I was just like, this is hard. This is too hard. I ended up missing out on Primo Gems on that event, and I was kind of bummed about it. Because it was just sort of like... What are we... Thundering Wilds. Oh, the fog. Oh yeah, I can do that one. I was trying to think, do I have an Animo character in my party? I do, I have the Traveler. I have her on Animo. Now, so I was kind of bummed because I was like, oh, I hope this isn't a trend, you know, that they're gonna basically start locking Primo Gems behind, difficult hurdles. But, nope. Thankfully. It stayed fair to all us casual players. Or, to be honest, the term casual player doesn't really fit with Genshin, because, like, you can't really play the game casually. If you want to get anywhere, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna log in, like, once a week, or whatever. You have to log in every day, and you gotta do stuff. So, I guess a better idea would be, like, maybe describing it as, like, the relaxed player, the, you know, Oh. I didn't want to say, like, beginner, because, like, I've been playing this game for 3-4 years. It's not...
Blade.
Whoop. I'm not a beginner. I know the ins and outs and stuff. Where's the last one? I love these purplish trees. They're just so pretty. I like a lot of the different colored trees. I wish we had these things for our teapot with little curlicues. I think they would be so neat. That and the feather grass. I really like those too. That'd be cool to have them. And of course.
Mind the side effects.
Let's get it on.
You.
There you go. Yeah, this is my birthday party team, where I always have the traveler, because, you know, she's the one who is being written to in the mail, and then of course I'll have the party person. So in this case it is Candace today. So happy birthday, Candace. And then I usually will take one of their friends, in this case Dea, because Candace and Dea are indeed friends. We've seen them together in game, you know, hanging out and stuff like that. And some people ship them too, so that helps. That's also... Hang on. Oh, okay. I was like... I heard some rumbling outside. I was like, what is that? Is that thunder? And it's like kept rumbling and rumbling. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? It's somebody taking their trash can down to the road next door. I was like, I didn't realize a trash can could sound that loud. Anyway, but some people ship Candace and Dea too, so that really helps. And then to round us out, I always have Baizu to basically keep us alive. In case the birthday person and their friend aren't fully leveled or whatever, Baizu won't let us fully perish. So...
A bitter pill to swallow.
Windblade.
Oh wait. Oops, I forgot. That's an animo one. That's not gonna work.
Be gone.
Mind the side effects.
Gloves off. Cha. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Ah.
That seems like an emergency.
You asked for it.
Go. I have to finish racing my Dea. I got her... just recently. I had been rolling for Chiori, and I lost the fit where... I put it. Basically, I was saving up for Arlecchino, but Chiori seemed so cool, and I decided, oh, let me roll to pity to see if I get Chiori. And if I don't, if I lose the 50-50, you know, I'm still gonna stop and wait for Arlecchino. So I roll on Chiori's banner, and I did lose the 50-50, and I got Dea. But it was really good because I then therefore had a guaranteed Arlecchino. The thing is, my Dea, as you can see, is only level 80, so she's not fully leveled or fully talented or anything like that. But, you know... Oops. Hang on. I got a phone call. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. I keep hearing sounds that are making me jump. Like first it was a trash can, then it was the phone ringing. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was just like, eh! But anyway. But the thing is too, is I was so busy farming for Arlecchino, once I kind of figured out what she needed, I didn't really have time to raise Dea very much, so, but we'll get there.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Do your worst. Grant us your blessing. Windblade.
Like, how do they expect me to get that up there?
Prepare to be blown away.
Oops. Where is it? There it is. What the heck? Get down here. Okay, thank you. It's like, I can't hit it. If it's up there, I don't have any ranged characters with me at the moment. Reminds me what I think about Farina's little constructs. Like, they're great, but when they decide, oh, we're gonna start attacking the campfire and drain your HP, it's like, down you guys! Down! Like, Farina, get out here and you know, retrieve your pets. Watatsumi Island just feels so, or this, I should say, the music. It sounds so bubbly. You. All right, here we go.
The side effects.
You. Look alive. The doctor will see you. Do your worst. We shall prevail.
The weird thing with Candace is that she has a very unique playstyle. That, like, she has a whole counterattack aspect to her, and you have to time it just right. Yeah, I know I was looking on her birthday art before, and people were putting comments in on Twitter, and one of the things they said was Candace hang out when, and I agree with them. I think Candace really deserves a hangout because she she's the descendant of King Deseret and really should have played a more important role in the story than she did. I mean, she is a very cool character, very protective, very important to Aro Village and everything, but it's kind of the point of if I was going to have her in the story, or if I was going to like use her properly for the story, my ideas. Well, let me get my primo gems first.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
And
Thank you
that.
for completing. Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Alright. And I want to reset some of these. That. I need rocks. I guess I'll use the other two for Mora. Let's see. Hess there, and... I don't have Mora. Because I found my rock levels was getting a little low. But anyway. Down a little bit so I can hear myself. But basically, if I guess we'll do some. Let's just do some artifacts. I still have to level up some of my artifacts for Arlecchino and Cloud Retainer and used to take the longest, the artifact grinding. But like, if I was to like be in charge of the story, at least for Candace's point of view, I would have one kind of leaned more into her whole descendant of Deseret thing. And so instead of the Eremites all, like yelling about, ooh, bring back Al Akmar and all that stuff, be more on, oh, Candace is a descendant of Akmar, let's try to win her over to our side, let's try to get her to do what we want her to do, and when that kind of failed, then they maybe went into the, well, we're just gonna bypass you and bring up Deseret or whatever. Like, it would make a lot more sense to, like, try to use Candace as a vessel for King Deseret than that whole thing about sacrificing scholars. Like, King Deseret had nothing against Sumeru, forest area or jungle area, so, like, why would sacrificing scholars bring him back? And that type of stuff. But basically have her incorporated more as King Deseret's heir and descendant, instead of just sort of bypassing that part. Also not put her under house arrest. Or not, I shouldn't say house arrest, that's the Hedis thing. She was basically like home buddy. Like, we get to Aro Village and the idea is like, oh, I thought, this is what I thought, originally what was going to happen was that check where I go. What I thought was going to happen is we were going to get to Aro Village, and then Candace was going to be the one to show us around and lead us around the desert, because I mean it's literally her home. but instead she kind of just said, oh, I can't leave here, I have to protect the village. Here it is. You know, I have to protect the village. And then we just kind of got led around by Sino and Dea and Alhaitham, which, I mean, it makes sense for them too. I mean, especially with Dea. But it was kind of the point of Dea and Sino had already had a huge part in the story. And, well, Alhaitham, I guess, that was kind of his point too. But let's go.
Witness my magnificence!
That they had kind of already had a big part in the story at that point, I believe, and like Candace just kind of gets left behind, which, I mean, I understand that she's just a 4-star, so they don't have to like advertise her as much, I guess.
Settle down.
But it's still kind of like she had so much potential, and then it just got kind of squandered.
Let the mighty be humble.
A bitter pill to swallow.
This is order.
The doctor will see you now.
Let's see what we get. This one's pretty good. Got some good percentages on it. What's this one? Ah, it's an HP one. Good. Not so thrilled with the substats, but I'm trying to farm some stuff for Sijuin, and since she's a healer, I figured, oh, I believe she's going to work off of HP, and I think, since she's a healer, and I figured, like, what better artifact set for her but the one that makes a bubble?
Stabilize.
Shower me with praise!
Silence.
It also will give her extra damage help, like it does with my Baizu, so
Tides beckon. Settle down.
A bitter pill to swallow.
I mean, also too, I think that Candace should have been the head of Aru Village, not just, oh, she's one of the protectors. Because I'm like, seriously? She's like the one with the vision here. And the Desert Air. In fact, it's almost insulting
Strike a pop!
for them to not have her be the leader.
Be sanctified.
I mean, if she's the only descendant on top of that, which didn't even know King Deseret actually got together with someone. I mean, yeah, because Deseret's whole story is that he was in love with the goddess of flowers, but then she passed away. But it says he had descendants. So either he... It's a dendro damage one. Oh, here's another HP one. Oh, I guess maybe that's a little bit better. Um, I know there's like a whole royal family or something, but I don't know if that royal family is actually connected to King Deseret. I guess it would have to be, right? Well, whichever. I think in a way it should have been more of a putting Candace on a bit more of a pedestal. Being kind of like, okay. Well, actually, let me just finish this first.
Let the mighty be humbled. Bow your head.
It's hard to talk when there's all this bang, boom, rawr noises. Mastery. Okay. Not too bad. We got a couple HP artifacts. Part of this also, of course, is to just give Arlecchino's weapons some extra, or not weapons, her artifacts some fodder to finish raising them up. When I first started playing, I didn't realize how much the artifacts were needed. Like, I thought they were just kind of like, oh, they'll add a little extra. No, they're really important. Oh, I ran out. Oh well, there's always tomorrow. But anyway, I think it would be cool for Candace if it was sort of a situation of, you know, okay, she is a descendant of King Deseret, and she's like the only one we know of, so that means she ends up being in a position that should earn respect from Nahida. Like, oh, this is the, you know, great great granddaughter of my friends. You know? I mean, Nahida couldn't really do anything about it, of course, because she was trapped for 500 years. But it's like, now that she's out, I can imagine a whole thing of her extending her hand to Candace and basically being like, "Oh, hey," you know.
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine.
Especially when you look at the whole, like, Nahida's position, it was like, it was like, because you used to have Ruka Devada, King Deseret, and the Goddess of Flowers, and now Deseret and the Goddess of Flowers are gone, and Nahida basically became Ruka Devada's fill-in, so now, ouch, now Nahida is all alone, and it's like, that's an interesting thing, too, on how that whole memory thing worked for Sumeru. Where are we gonna head? Oh, we gotta go in the teapot. Pick up my coins and stuff. You know, that basically before we go to Ersville and, or Immersville? The big tree.
Protector will see you now. This realm is true. If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me.
Before we go there and basically that's fine. I want to make sure you guys can still hear it, but I don't want it talking over me, so or being so loud I can't even talk out loud. But basically it was the whole point that, you know, you had Nahida, and she, you know, knew she was separate from Rukkhadevata, and so she was kind of like, oh, how am I going to do this, and so on. And then
The one before you is known as Jade.
after we basically erase Rukkhadevata, everything gets rewritten. So Nahida basically thinks that everything that Rukkhadevata did, she's the one who did it. Which isn't a problem or anything, but it really is a very quick way to solve the issue. And so instead of everybody going, oh, Rukkhadevata was there, and then she had to use her powers and she shrunk, and then she had to use her powers again and sacrifice her life 500 years ago. Then Nahida was born, and then the sages threw her, you know, put her under house arrest, and so on. They think that, oh, Nahida was friends with King Deseret, and Nahida is shrunk because of that's how she always looked, and that it was Nahida who got hurt and then was put under house arrest by the sages for 500 years, and how dare those sages, and so on. And oh yeah, Nahida's always been our ruler. The issue, I think, with... I gotta fix that. That is glitching. Hang on. The ground is glitching! I think pull the rest of this way. I want it definitely closer than that. I think that'll work. You know, so the issue comes up because what happens is now you wonder on what does Nahida remember? Does she, like, remember King Deseret? Does she remember the Goddess of Flowers? Or did it just, like, fill in that, oh yeah, you've always been there, but then when she questions herself, she's like, well, wait, if I was always here, why don't I have memories of them? There you go. A little space, but at least it's not clipping anymore. So move it a little bit. Do not need the roots. There you go. Actually, we could probably do that. Makes it look like the reason why this doesn't go all the way out to here is because this tree root is in the way. There you go. It does leave a gap, but at least it's not glitching anymore. I love the teapot. It's the same kind of, having the teapot to decorate the way you want is kind of the same feeling as playing The Sims or playing Animal Crossing, especially the New Horizons one, because you're kind of like, oh, I can decorate this thing however I want, which is why in Honkai Star Rail, I keep asking on the surveys, please give us a train car or at least a room on the train that we can decorate the way we want, because
Oh, it's just some chronic problem I have flaring up again. Nothing to worry about.
it's okay, Baizu. Because when you look at it, it's like Himiko gets a room, Welt gets a room, Dong Hung has a room, March 7th has a room, and here's the Trailblazer, and we've been trailblazing with the crew for a year, and they still haven't given us a room. Like, where do we sleep? On the couch? do we just bunk with either Dong Hung or March 7th, depending on our gender? What's happening? Coffee. Let's see. What else do we want to do? So it's kind of like with the Hida, it's one of those points of, oh, this will make things easier and fill up all the holes, but then you start thinking about it, you're like, wait a minute, now we're creating a paradox. It's making more holes. What do we do? Oh. Alright. Finish up the bounties. Can't do this until tomorrow. Got that. Let me check something. Don't think it has it on here. Honestly, I wish the version highlights would tell you all of that's coming, even if it doesn't have like a date on it. Because I keep wondering when the main event is gonna come. And like right here, like all it tells us is what's happening right now, which is like we already know that. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Oh, starts in 2 days.
When on the road, one should take
It's still
ample
locked, so you
time
can't
to
go,
pause
can't look at it. But
and appreciate the wondrous
that's good. This
scenery along
this
the
is what I
way.
was looking for.
You're about to collapse, aren't you?
Yeah, starts in 2 days and 12 hours. So what would that be? Monday? I think. 12 hours would be Saturday, and then yeah, so it should be starting around Monday, maybe Tuesday. Alright, how about we go do our bounties? Oh, let's do them in Sumeru since it's Candace's birthday. But I know, like, I've RP'd Candace before, and I kind of have her as a sort of AU-ish version, in the sense of she's more of like Pharaoh Candace, like she is the one in charge of the people of Aru Village and of the desert, and she actually does, she can see the future. And not just implying about it. I guess we'll take this guy. Actually. There he is.
Hear my prayer.
A bitter pill to swallow. Taking a turn for the better.
Can't run from death.
There you go. Before we leave. Basically, I mean, the idea is just to give her a bigger role and, you know, make her a little bit more important than she is. Also, it would have been nice if she had been a 5-star. Did I get all of them? I did. Alright, let's go back.
Mind the side effect.
Lamb to the side. What's in this now?
You're dead meat! Windblade! The doctor was seeing.
We shall prevail.
Never testing my patience. Gotcha.
Where'd he go? Ah, no! Nope.
Mind the side effects.
Ah, drat.
Gloves off.
At least he can only do it once.
Do your worst. Hear my prayer. Chia. Chia.
Again.
Okay, there we go. Some of those are very death-defying leaps. I realized it as I was coming down. Like, yeah, you wouldn't want to land on this. Especially from all the way up there. It was kind of funny. I remember one time I had been playing Genshin and I decided, oh, wouldn't it be neat to have an alternate account? So I got to Mondstadt and I was, you know, doing my thing and stuff like that, and I got to see. I'll show you guys where specifically. I'm up here. You know, this place feels so nostalgic, to be honest. Considering it's like we start our journey right over there on the beach. Came up this path here. And we got right to here, and then like they had the cutscene, and it was like, oh, look how beautiful, and with the yellow trees and the lake and Mondstadt in the background. It's just like, oh, look how wonderful. And Paimon's like, okay, come on, let's go. Well, I forgot that the Traveler doesn't have the glider right away. So I was like, sure. And I almost had my character, the Traveler, jump off this cliff. I remembered at like the last second that, wait, he doesn't have or they don't have the glider yet. I gotta get that from Amber. And I basically went like, wait, oh. So I don't know if this height would kill the character, but it definitely would definitely hurt. I'm kind of interested in testing it out now, actually. Alright. Sorry, Lumine. Let's see if you survive. I'm kind of interested if you jumped off of here, would you survive? Okay, yes, she does. But, ooh, that took about like half her HP. Here you go. So, that's the important part. Don't jump without your glider, kids. Especially in a new game. I don't play that alternate account anymore because I basically figured out that handling one Genshin account was enough. Especially when I had other games I was playing at the time. Here. Probably just like, oh, could you give me apple, or could you deliver this thing for me, or whatever. Fish. But anyway. Oh, what was I? Oh, yeah, so I was playing like a bunch of other games, and speaking of other games, Withering Waves is coming out pretty soon on May 22nd. I'm excited for it because it seems to be in the same kind of vein as Genshin, but different enough that it's like, oh, this is a unique thing. And so I'll probably be streaming that one a lot as well. Kind of doing an on-off with Genshin. I think with the Twitch streamer event, I might try to just stream more at the beginning of the patch. Because I think by the, well, Yeah, I think the Twitch streamer event is going to end on like the 14th. So it ends before the patch is fully finished, but it gives you enough time to basically do any like story quest stuff and also usually the main event, and that usually will take up time. Just doing my daily stuff like this doesn't really take up a lot of time, and I don't know if you guys find it interesting or anything. So I might try to push a little bit more in the early stages, and then like once the Twitch streamer event is over, I'll just go and stream like Withering Waves and stuff when it comes out. Like right now I'm also playing Honkai Star Rail, but that one also has sort of it's very quiet right now. I'll say it's I won't say it's dead. It's just very quiet because it's coming to the end of its patch, which they usually are quiet at that point. And it's kind of interesting. That windmill over there is a little bit different than those windmills. I mean, those are bigger, of course, but like if you look at the windmill piece of it, they have a lot more spokes on that one. Look at all the herons. Or the cranes, I should say. There. Yeah. It would be nice for Mondstadt to get a little bit of an expansion. I mean, I think we're probably gonna get one because I mean, there's land over here, so we'll get something eventually. And also, I think this waterway leads out to somewhere because, like, this is Cider Lake, but you don't. I mean, I guess you can have a lake, without a big river attached to it, but this looks like it should be a big river. So I know I think in game they've mentioned about a port. This last patch? Where they had the potion event that was like right here. I think they mentioned the port. It's just that we can't get to it yet because it doesn't exist. I'm assuming it's here in this area somewhere because I mean, where else could it be? I mean, unless they like tried to stick it here, but this is more like leeway. I think if you were to draw a line, it would be kind of like, okay, you know, here, like right here in this area, this is like, okay, put a line here. This is leeway. That's Mondstadt. Also, too, I think Mondstadt is due for an expansion because, like, when you think about it, it's like we had Mondstadt and we had a bit of leeway, and then Mondstadt got Dragon Spine, and then we left this whole thing to Inazuma. We came back and leeway got the Chasm, and then we got all the parts of Sumeru, and then we went up and we started getting Fontaine. Then we got Chenyu Vale, so another part of leeway, and now we're kind of finishing up with this section here, which is kind of like leeway, Sumeru parts. And then, because I think all of this was in there for the Chenyu Vale update. They didn't add any more Chenyu Vale, I guess, except water. Which, that reminds me, it's like we could check out what's up here. Never did that. But, I mean, the last bit of Mondstadt we ever got was Dragon Spine. That was in 1.2. So, I think Mondstadt deserves some more stuff. Alright, now here's the question. If we can get up over there, I'm out here. that's not gonna work. We are too short. Try. Try climbing this tree. I think we can do it this way. Yeah, so we headed the other way. We were gonna get stuck under the little outcropping. Go. Yes, I just love Genshin music. It is so pretty. It's very pretty and it invokes a lot of different emotions. I think my favorite is the chasm, which I really hope someday we get some spin crystals for the chasm because it's just really nice. Oh, the grass is a different color over there. Actually, do we have the... No, we don't. Up or... Our chests, we need to head a little bit more north. But I like that music. I like some of the songs. Just a little side note from I think it's Sarai and Surumi. Both of those songs or music's really good. For me personally, everybody has their preferences and everything and all that good stuff. Oh, there's a... What are these guys doing? Great. Oh, they're racing. Come up here.
I will always seek to protect the things that are most important, no matter what it takes, even when it looks futile.
That one was like, I'm too tired. I know in one of the parts in Sumeru by... It's like this area here. You can watch two crabs race. I think it's there. And it actually gives you primo gems for it. I heard news that there wasn't really much here on this one. I think I mentioned it last time, but I know some people were like, oh, this thing's so empty, what's the whole point, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, it's like, I'm sure the, Mahoya crew is working on Natland, and they're also working on the Summer Festival land, region, and area, and stuff like that, so... Oh, look, beautiful flowers. And they spot me. So I understand if it's not really full right now. I mean, they're making a whole new region. Oh, there's a chest somewhere. This way.
Sounds good to me.
The fact that that lady breaks her musical instrument, like I assume that she's not expecting to
Prepare to be blown away.
ever use it again.
Do your worst.
I'll take my leave.
These look surprisingly useful.
Yeah. To be honest, I think with this one, since it's kind of sparse, I think it would have been good ideas if they had put in a few more world quests, maybe. Because like I got done with the like they put it out and it was like Arlecchino's quest, and then we had the Remuria quest, and I got the Remuria quest done in like two uh two play sessions. Pretty that is though. Um But like I said, they're busy working on Natlin, I'm sure. Because really it's like what's going to happen is we have this one, and then we're having 4.7, and then 4.8 I think is going to be the summer event, because it always is. And then right after that we're going into 5.0 with Natland. So I mean, that's two you can. That's two regions basically back to back. And that is if they don't like reuse the Golden Apple Archipelago or the Sumeru one we went to with the Oceanids last time. The thing is, even if they do, they're gonna reconstruct it, so alright. Well, feeling these guys are a puzzle, so let me go fight them. I forgot to pick up my battle pass.
Grant us your blessing.
Yep. Nothing, but we got some drops at least. And I didn't burn the grass. Sometimes the places are just so pretty, I'm like, I don't want to burn the grass. I don't want to turn to flowers. I'm like, okay, let's not use the pyro character here then. But anyway. I think we will wrap that up for now because I'm starting to get kind of tired and... Oh, hi Kaj. I'm doing okay. Sorry I didn't see your message. How are you doing? You joined last minute again. Yeah, well... It's okay. Sometimes that just happens. I know I've joined streams before where I was like, oh, so-and-so is live. And I start watching and they're like, okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm like, oh shoot. But at least the good thing is that this will record it. So if you want to watch what I did, you can watch it. I upload them on YouTube too. So when Twitch decides, oh, we're gonna get rid of this, I still have my copy and it's not gone forever. What's this? Oh, you remember I was streaming and popped in. Oh, that's thank you so much for coming. Yeah, I think. Yeah, Monday will be hot. Let's see. Monday will be Hot Cocoa Corner for streaming princess. Monday will be Hot Cocoa Corner, and then go check out these little islands down there. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, probably, we'll be doing some Genshin. I think the main event is coming either Tuesday or Wednesday, and we'll be doing that. So that'll be fun. Oh. Where are we going? Oh, there's a chest over there. Grab this. Yeah, I don't usually stream on Friday evenings. I have something to do, but things got kind of moved around a little bit, so.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Windblade. The doctor will see you.
Mind the side effects.
Buckle up. You asked for it.
I was wondering why this guy wasn't losing HP.
We shall prevail. Yield.
A bitter pill to swallow.
Let's get it on. Hi.
There we go. It's hard having a World 8 when your characters aren't fully built. Big Candace gameplay, yeah. Well, I try. She is raised. She, You see. Stop with that! I do not burp on stream. And if it's some sort of weird kinky thing, I'm not into that, okay? So this is a PG on the kinky stuff site. So none of that. But yeah, so this is my Candace. So she's level 90. She has a 4-star 90 weapon. All of her artifacts are 20. She's got C6 constellations, and her talents are fully raised. But I think what happens with Candace is that in order to get the most stuff out, most damage out of her, you have to time the enemy attacks with her, like, how you fight with her, and it can be kind of hard to remember how to do it. I do like Candace. I think she's like my favorite Sumeru character. Like, if I was going to go through like the different regions and say, okay, who's your favorite character of this? Who's your favorite character of that? You know, I would say that Candace is probably my favorite Sumeru character. There's just something about her, like she's just so pretty, and
Mind the side effects.
I hope someday she
Windblade.
someday she gets like a hangout event or something, because I think she deserves it. Who is... Getting the signal something's trying to attack me, but where? Oh, all the way over there. I was wondering why nobody was coming. The hilly crew were like, oh, they're being attacked over there. But wait, no, water. Yeah, no, she does not. Let me check here. Yeah, because if you go to hangout events, for Sumeru, we have Faro-san, Layla, and Kaveh. And that's it. We don't have a Candace one, which I think she really deserves, because they didn't really use her a lot in the story. She just kind of... We showed up, she showed that she was very protective and a very nice person, which was great. And then she just kind of got stuck in the village. Because her whole thing was like, oh, I need to protect the village, so I'm not going anywhere because of, you know, rift hounds and sandstorms, which I totally understand. But I was sort of like, we've seen a lot of Dea, Sino, and Alhaitham at this point. Maybe not Alhaitham, but we had the other two. It's like, I wanted Candace to lead us around. Isn't this literally her backyard? I mean, it's Dea's backyard too. So it made sense, but I was just like, I want Candace to be with us, but yeah. What I find kind of interesting, yeah, because if you look through the hangout events and you count them by region, let's see. For Mondstadt, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Because of Kaya. Then if you go for Leeway, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one gets 4 as well. Inazuma has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get 5. And then Sumeru gets 3. And at this point, Fontaine only has 1. So, and Fontaine's apparently ending. I hope we get more more hangout events for the Fontaine characters, because we got 1. Personally, I think maybe if I was to, let's see, let's go to character archive, because the 4 stars are the ones who get hangouts. So if we have that many I guess we don't really have that many 4-star Fontanians, do we? Because we have Lynette, Fremine, Charlotte, and Chevreuse. Fremine is kind of counted for because we have Lynette, and I think he's in that one. Yeah, Fontaine only has one. They usually release it with the story. Which, this is why it makes it so weird, that we only have one and Fontaine's wrapping up. But I suppose you could say we do still have one patch. 2 patches-ish. Because it's 4.7, but then we have 4.8, and 4.8 is going to be the summer event. Although we might get a hangout event from that one. So I can imagine having like a Charlotte hangout event. Like, oh, we go around and help her with stories and stuff. And maybe a Chevreuse one too. Like the idea of like, oh, we go around and we help her with crimes and stuff. Which I still don't have her. I hope she shows up someday. I did roll in the banner that she was on, but she didn't show up. So I'm kind of surprised. I thought that we had more 4 stars for Fontaine than that. However, you know, there's always the future. Once a region is in existence in this game, you're going to end up having more characters. Like, I mean, we go back to the character archive real quick. I mean, like, we haven't been in Leeway, or I should say, if you look at the list, it's like, okay, we get Arlecchino, who is technically Shesnayan, I guess, because she does have a Shesnayan vision. But then we got Chiori, who's technically Inazuman. Clower Tainer and Gongming, of course, from Leeway. And I think the last Mondstadt we got was Mika. So that was a little while ago. But yeah, because we got Mondstadt, Leeway, Inazuma. What was our last Sumeru character? Kaveh. Although Kaveh was released during Sumeru. So
Where's my key? Not again.
Although I forgot, Sethos is drip marketed. Sethos is Sumeru. So we are gonna get another Sumeru character pretty soon. Charlotte Hangout would be cool. Yeah. I can see how that would really work in, because it would be like, ooh, each one could be we're following the trail of a new story, and so on. I mean, I know I haven't done all of Lynette's Hangout yet, but I've only reached one of her endings, but I know in this one that I followed, both Linny and Chevreuse showed up, so they might be trying to like compound it. So it's like, oh, Lynette's actually kind of covers everybody, but they kind of deserve their own hangouts, I think, too. I think Charlotte might be in this one too, but it doesn't work in the sense of, oh, they got their own hangouts. But I have noticed a slight change in some of these. About like, originally it was just, oh, here's just, oh, let me jump over here. Like, if we look at all of Bennett's endings, right? Like, all of them is just Bennett and the Traveler. And then maybe an NPC. So Bennett and the Traveler, Bennett and the Traveler and an NPC, Bennett, Traveler, NPC. There's no, like, other playable characters other than Bennett and the Traveler. However, you start getting into like Hyzos, for example. You go over here, right? We got Hyzo and Traveler here, but then here we have Ito, right? So Ito actually kind of works into part of the hangout, even though he's a 5-star and wouldn't really get a hangout. They have like that, for example. Let's see. Kabe have one? He just... Okay, yeah, here he is. He's down here. Yeah, so you have like this one where it's like, okay, here's Kaveh, but they also incorporated Tignari, Sino, Alhaitham, and Kolei. Kolei having a hangout event would be cool too. To be honest, I thought she was gonna get one considering how much the fans really liked her. Even before we went into Sumeru, they were like, oh, we're gonna get to see Kolei again. Kolei from the comic, and they were all so excited about it. And it was good what she had in the story because they didn't just like have her show up and then she got pushed aside. Like we spent a good amount of time with her and really helped her out and everything. But it would be nice to have a hangout with her too. Honestly, it would be nice to have a hangout with all the characters. Also, here's like this was Dory coming. Dory is kind of an interesting character, just as a side thing. Because people hate on Dory, but she is very much one of those characters where you can't do a knee-jerk reaction with her. I don't know, they might with the Kolei hangout. I mean, I can imagine if they do another, like, oh, the main event is gonna be in Sumeru this time. Then they might also, like, package it. Like a Kolei hangout or a Candace hangout or something like that. Because I don't think we're gonna be getting any more Sumeru since we just got that little bit left of the kind of like edge, and it's not really doesn't really have anything in it. So yeah. Yeah, it's the thing is with Mihoyo, it's kind of funny. They work the same way they work with their character designs. How you look at the character and you think, "Oh, they are, symmetrical." And then you start looking at it and you're like, "Wait a minute. No, their outfits are not symmetrical. They are not perfectly symmetrical. They have a glove on this hand, but not on that hand. They've got something on their belt and that's not on the other side, etc." So, you want to whoops. I moved my arms and my body went whoop. You can't, how you put it, you can't predict what they're gonna do or how they're gonna do it because they could change their minds, whenever they feel like it, because they're the ones who made the game. But one thing about Dory I found is that Dory is one of those characters where you cannot have a knee-jerk reaction to her. Because what happens is that she is very much a jokester. She sets things up in a whole, like, oh, yes, here's this thing. And then she kind of, like, cracks a joke. And as you're kind of like, Dory, she goes, oh, haha, I'm just kidding, here you go. And then she gives you what you asked for. Or, I know with, like, this one, people found out that she had, like, bought a lot of the area around Aru Village, and everybody like jumped on the bandwagon and started yelling at her like, "Oh gosh, she's trying to take over Aru Village. How dare she? She should have left that for the villagers." And then you find out that she's been trying to figure out what to build there to benefit the villagers because she's got a ton of money and they don't. And then by talking to Kaveh, she's like, oh, we could build a school. We could build a library. We could build a whole campus, in the land that she owns. So she really is a good person. You just can't do that whole knee-jerk reaction. And I think what happens is that people on Twitter are really bad at not doing the knee-jerk reaction. They just see things and react immediately and then like never change their minds. So it's like you have to wait with Dory, because I mean, when you look at it, Dory has never actually like um she's never cheated us. She never actually ripped us off. She gave us what we asked, what we asked for. So yeah, it's kind of interesting too, because Noelle is the only one that has two uh hangout events. Yeah, that's the thing. It is good. That's the thing. It's good. But because people got so upset about the thought that, oh, Dory is being like, I don't know, what do you call that? Um Conqueror, colonialism, conquistador or something. Excuse me. Gotta adjust. Um that they didn't stop to think about, wait, she's Sumerian too, and she's trying to help out in the only way she can. So it's like, yeah, just give Dory a break. I know a lot of people are sort of all upset about her design because they're like, oh, it's so, was it Orientalist, or not Orientalist? Like they complain about, oh, she's doing the belly dancer thing, but then you actually look at her outfit without, freaking out about it. These are overalls. Her pants are overalls. She even has one of them up around her shoulder. If she pulled the whole thing up, it would completely cover her stomach. The turban is a little bit like, okay, maybe culturally insensitive, considering I'm pretty sure only the guys wear turbans. Um, but hey, I mean, this is a fantasy game. You gotta give them at least a little bit of leeway. Yeah, exactly. Yep, they look at its surface value, and they don't take a time to really look at it. I mean, I actually kind of like Dory. I think she's a nice little lady. I don't use her, but I was happy when I got her. So it's one of those things of, with Genshin characters, it's, you get them and you need to raise them immediately, because if you don't, you never will. They get stuck. That's why when yeah, they do. They have a really good story to tell. Um I mean, like when I was going for Arlecchino, I made sure to pre-farm as much as I possibly could, and so that she could be pretty much ready and good to go, so that when 4.7 comes, I don't have to feel like, oh gosh, I completely missed out on raising Arlecchino. Every time I pull on the weapon banner, I get a copy of Dory somehow. Oh, that's pretty good. She must really like you then. She's like, oh, you're rolling on the weapon banner. You must have money. Can I join? Yeah, I remember a comic about Chi Chi. It was kind of sad, but kind of uplifting too. That basically, what it was that Chi Chi was overhearing all the people complaining about her showing up, and she started internalizing it, and she finally asked basically one of the people. She's like, "Am I bad?" And they were like, "What's wrong? Why did you say that?" She's like, "Because nobody seems to want me." And it was really sad. And so the other person who was like the artist basically went and tried to explain to Chi Chi on how that the what it was, where she's like, you know how, or she trying to figure out how to explain this properly. She said that, oh, well, when you go leave the pharmacy and you go down and you're looking for the little finches, and she's like, yeah. She's like, what happens if you went down there, instead of finches, there were pigeons? And Chi Chi was like, pigeons? Like, she's like not thrilled with pigeons. And so the author said, okay, so see, so that's kind of the feeling. And Chi-Chi's like, I'm a pigeon? And then the author continued to explain and basically said, I say author, but it's artist. The artist explained and basically said, yes, but there are people who actually do want you to arrive, and there's people who use you and main you and stuff, and so you just have to, go find those people. And Chi-Chi, got a little bit confidence, and she was like, okay, like, I understand. I'm going to, wait for those people, and I will go help them when they arrive. And she said, and I'll also be nicer to the pigeons. So, yeah, I got a C for Chi-Chi. Which I guess makes sense because I'm a Baizu main. So I rolled on Arlecchino's banner and I got my guaranteed Arlecchino, but then I decided, oh, let me roll until Pity again to see if I get another Arlecchino, and I got a Chi-Chi. So I now have a guaranteed. So when whatchamacallit? Siegeween. When Siegeween comes, I'm going to be getting a guaranteed Siegeween. I originally was going to roll on Baizu's banner and see if I could get a C3 Baizu, but his C3 I don't really need, because this one just ups his holistic revivification, which is his ultimate, and I don't use his ultimate that much. Oh god, Chi-Chi, when I was playing for Kokomi, it hurt my soul. Yeah. I understand the feeling. I mean, I like Chi-Chi and everything, so when she shows up, or let me put it this way. Like, if I was to put getting the standard characters on a line, on like, oh, who do I want most, and so on and so forth, it would be Diluc would be, or I think right now the one I want the most is Kaching, because I don't have Kaching. I used to not have Dea as well, but Dea came home, so that's good. But I want Kaching. I always want Diluc Constellations because I use Diluc. I got Jean, but getting her Con would be great too. Chi-Chi is really cute. Dea is great. Tighnari is great. The only one I don't want is Mona. Because, to connect with your story, when I first started playing, Zhongli's banner came up, and I rolled on it, and I lost the 50-50 to Mona. And at the time, I was free to play. So even though I scrounged up as many Primo Gems as I could for the next 20 days and rolled every single day, more or less, he never came home. And for the longest time, I was peeved at Mona. I was like, how dare you? So every time she shows up, I'm like, Mona, I don't want you, go away. Which is nothing against her. It was like, that was just the first time I'd ever lost a 50-50, and so on. It's kind of funny, though. She also showed up on Scaramouche's banner. However, in that case, I kind of pitied her a little bit, because I already had the 180, and I was ready to roll it completely for Scaramouche, or not completely, but like, I was going to guarantee to get him, so her showing up didn't hurt anything in that regard. But it was kind of funny, because it was like, she showed up, and then Scaramouche showed up afterwards, because I got the guaranteed. And then the next banner was A's rerun, and I didn't have A at that point, so I rolled on A's banner, and she came home as well. So in my head, the story basically went that I was wishing, and Mona and Scaramouche were up there watching and being like, oh, are you like, Mona's like, are you going to go down there? And he's like, nah, you go. And then he kicks her down there or throws her, and I like catch her. And it's like, what are you doing throwing a lady? And then he laughs, and then he finally comes down, and then after he comes down, A suddenly shows up to kick his butt and be like, what are you doing throwing a lady? And tugs on his ears. or something like that, you know? It's kind of the same thing that happened when I rolled on Klee's banner. Because what happened was I had wanted Sucrose, who was on Klee's banner. And I rolled, and Klee showed up, but then Sucrose also showed up on the same 10 pull. So it was kind of like, and I was in Mondstadt at the time, so it kind of has a little story of the traveler standing in front of Catherine in the city in Mondstadt, and Klee running down the way and knocking into the traveler, and then suddenly Sucrose, who is chasing after Klee, being like, you know, Klee, wait, and then they both join my party. So, let's see. I was pulling for Nilou when I first played, and I got Mona, and was like, this ain't the character I was wishing for. Yeah. That is very funny when the character that shows up is very similar to the one you're pulling for. Because, I mean, like, Nilou and Mona, they're both medium model female characters of the Hydro variety. The only difference is that Mona's a catalyst and Nilou's a sword. That's one of those cases when you're like, oh, my Nilou looks different. And it's like, it's still pretty close. Whew. Oh yeah, Nilou also ends up having ponytails. Just like Mona. So in that case, you also got ponytailed. I didn't know how the game worked at all. My friend just told me to pull unlimited. Yeah. Well, hey, at least your friend sounds like a good friend, because if they had told you to pull on standard, that would have been cruel. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Genshin is a lot of people's first look into gacha, because I know a lot of people came to Genshin due to like Breath of the Wild, because there was a whole big thing about, oh, people calling it Breath of the Waifu and yada yada, and saying it was a Zelda Breath of the Wild clone and things like that. But then they got into the game and they started complaining about why they weren't getting the characters they wanted. Like, why aren't these characters being given to us for free? And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, me, who had played Faint Grand Order, which had has a horrible gacha system, and I'm like, yeah, that's gacha for you. I mean, to be honest, I am thrilled that they have the 180 pity, you know, to get the characters, because when I was playing Fate Grand Order back in the day, there was no pity. You just had to roll and roll and roll, and you could roll like 500, they call them Saint Quartz. You could like roll 500 Saint Quartz or 1,000 Saint Quartz, and you'd never get the character you wanted. It was a literal gambling. This one, at least, it's like, okay, you're more of gambling of when they're gonna come home, not if they're gonna come home. As long as you have that 180 for it thing. Oh, you played gacha before? Well, that's good. That's good. At least you knew. At least you knew that. I know that there were so many people who got really confused about the whole aspect and started whining about it. And it was like, dude, this is gacha. That's how it works. They can't just give you the characters for free. I know that somebody, they didn't complain about it exactly, but it was like, oh, what's one of the silly things you did as a new player? And one person said that they thought they were going to be given Diluc for free after they did his story quest. And I was kind of like, yeah, I can see that, why that would be. I could see why they would think that, considering that on the other story quest that we had up until that point, you had, you got Kaya, Lisa, and you already had Amber, to be honest, but you got Kaya and Lisa. Of course, they were also 4 stars, so that's okay. I need the time to, I need the time to put in for the Twitch event anyway. And it's so much more fun to be able to chat with somebody who asks questions. I'm glad you're here.
I knew you'd miss me.
Oh, nope. You want to stay on that, but I want to do this. It's kind of funny. Like, there's a Fontanian boat, and there's a Sumeru boat.
May I present?
I know I did a post the other day. It was Farina swimming around in the reeds, and I took a picture, and the caption was, "Farina of the reeds, what is your wisdom?" And she replied, "Make sure you roll for me on my rerun. I can walk on water." But the really nice thing about Farina too is that not only can she walk on water, but one, it's attached to her E skill, which as soon as it cools down, you could just hit again. You don't need to get energy for it, like with Kokomi's ultimate, for example. And also, it cools down faster than the effects end. So you could just be like,
How brilliant!
yeah, I'm just gonna walk on water forever. You want Frida to get her all. Well, she's supposed to be getting her rerun pretty soon, right? I mean, Archons usually get reruns. Do you have hers already? I don't remember. Because I was pretty sure that Archons are supposed to get their reruns. Oh, I'm on guaranteed. I got Kaching while pulling up for Hazo. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. Your luck seems so bad. What characters did you? Will come home. I hope. Yeah. Well, save that guaranteed then. You might be whatchamacallit, tempted to pull. But hold on to that guarantee. It is very precious. I hope you get your Farina. It's kind of funny too because like she herself, when she's doing like these, it actually doesn't really do that much damage, but her attendants, I've seen them hit with like 23,000 HP. It's like having Farina on your team is like having 3 other Hydro characters. And the best part about it is you don't have to have her on the field to have those guys existing. You know? So you can just pop them up, switch to another character, and then as soon as they are done, you just pop back up. The only downside is that the attendants will drain the HP of the entire party. So you it drains the HP of the entire party, so if you don't have a party-wide healer, it can cause issues. Farina's healing actually will only heal the active character, so that can be a little iffy. I'm playing like 2 other gacha games. I'll fulfill my summoning there. Okay, that's a good idea. Farina works with Hu Tao. I guess she can. I mean, Hu Tao gets buffed from having low HP, and Farina will lower the HP with her, with their attendants here. Although the attendants will only lower the HP when they're actually attacking something. So at least that's good. They will attack campfires and cooking plots though. So just be forewarned about that. Yeah. I guess a good team would be like, in this case, would be Farina, Hu Tao, and then like some sort of shielder like Zhongli, so that you're not like turning around and suddenly Hu Tao's dead because some Hillicher whapped her in the face or something. I actually have Hu Tao, but I haven't really raced her very much. It kind of a funny story. I don't know if you've heard this one, but I'll just share it before I wrap up. But this happened to me twice. Okay, so Hu Tao, right? I didn't have her, And I hadn't rolled on her like on her first banner thing because like I'm a Baizu main. They have a little bit of beef and so on. And I'm also not too thrilled about Hu Tao's whole jokey about death aspect. It kind of creeps me out. But she had her banner and Toma was on her banner.
Billy churl, Billy churl,
Let's see.
silly Billy.
Make sure she doesn't talk while I'm doing this. And I liked Ayato, and I liked the Ayato Toma pairing. So I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I had Toma and kind of encourage Ayato to come home? So I decided, oh, he's on Hu Tao's banner. I will pull on that banner and maybe get a few Tomas. And if Hu Tao shows up, that's fine, right? Because I don't have her. Well, I started rolling. I ended with a C1 Hu Tao before I got Toma. Basically what happened was I rolled, I got a Hu Tao, I kept rolling, I got a Mona, and then I kept rolling some more, and I got another Hu Tao. So I was just like, oh my gosh. And then finally, I got one Toma. One. And then to make it worse, I did that whole thing again. Where is he? I have a C1 Sino thanks to Candace. Candace was on Sino's banner. I went, oh, I would like to get Candace. Started rolling for her. Sino showed up. Didn't have Sino. Was okay with getting Sino. Yay, Sino. Kept rolling. He showed up again before she did. You know, so has been robbing me of pyro damage bonus goblets for months now. Had to learn how to jump cancel on mobile. Aw. Yeah. To be honest, I think... let me hop over here to... No, I don't have a heal. Is this the right one? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so in my advice / opinion, getting the specific elemental damage goblet is very difficult for a set. So you're probably more likely just a better idea is to make all the other artifacts from the set you want, since you only need 4 pieces, you don't need the whole 5 piece, and just supplement the goblet with something else, because it is a lot less of a headache than trying to get a full 5 set or whatever. Because really it's like, okay, this one usually needs to be attack, this one is like crit damage or crit rate, these are always going to be HP and HP and attack. This one is the only one that is like, it has so many options. You're better off just finding a pyro goblet. Like, oops, not that one. Like if we go here and we go pyro damage, right? Like you can kind of see, like I have pyro damage, but I don't have these sets on those characters. I just kind of swapped them out. It's a lot less headache that way. You need the goblet for my Zhongling and my Hu Tao. No goblet. You have goblets I've needed. Yeah. Well, I wish you luck in getting those pyro damage goblets. They'll show up eventually. But like I said, just, you know, fit in whatever you can use. Alright. Well, I think that is about wraps it up. Like I said, I will be back on Monday for Hot Cocoa Corner, so hopefully I'll see you then. And then after that, we'll be doing more Genshin. I believe Honkai Star Rail... This is interesting. I don't know... Yeah, I think the main event, the Inazuman event for Genshin, is going to be happening on either Monday or Tuesday. And then for me at least, Honkai Star Rail will be doing its thing on the 8th. So on the 8th we might be doing Honkai Star Rail stuff. But then I know on the 22nd of May I will be doing Withering Waves. I'll be playing a lot of Withering Waves, which will work out because at that point the whatchamacallit, the Twitch event for Genshin will be over, and I'll be able to play some other games without having to worry about like, oh, I'm not getting enough time in for Genshin, because I'd like to win some Primo Gems or earn some Primo Gems. See, keep getting physical damage bonus with no physical characters. Yeah, I know. Well, I wish you luck. The only thing you could do is just keep plugging at it. I think, yeah, we unfortunately we can't choose the main stat yet. I know in Honkai Star Rail they have it where it's like, oh, if you have this special resin, then you can pick the main stat of the thing you want. So like if you want speed boots, you can just pick speed and pick boots, and there you go, of a specific set. They haven't done anything like that for Genshin, but maybe someday. I'll cross my fingers. That would make it a lot easier to basically fill in the last piece you did. So, but we'll have to see. All right. Well, thanks so much for coming, Kaj, and I will see you all later. Okay. It was great talking with you. Bye. I'll see you later. I had fun too. All right. See ya. Bye.